Today, we are finally gonna be doing one of my most liked suggestions ever, where I have to take one player below a 70 overall from each team, relocate this team, and eventually turn this into a good roster. And if you couldn't tell from this team, I had a strategy when picking players, and that is taking young, unproven, developable players with hopes of making them good someday. But this should be a ton of fun. I don't know why I haven't done this yet, and this sounds like an extremely hard challenge, but I have faith that we can turn this into a good roster, maybe even one of the best by the end of this, and try to get this team a Super Bowl. But super quick, I want to make this intro short because I'm excited to get into this and get into the rules here, which there aren't many, but obviously massive shout out to Michael for the suggestion. I think the current longest standing suggestion on the channel. Their link is in the description, and if you want a shout out, or if you just want to let me know what I should do next, let me know that down in the comments. And let's see if we can get to 2,000 likes on this video, because if we do, it'll let me know y'all want to see a fantasy draft version of this, where we can only draft players below a 70 overall. And it sounds stupid, but leaving a like really does help out the channel. I would appreciate it. And very last thing, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Trying to hit 60K by the end of the month. So if you like rebuilds, that's literally all I do. Goofy stuff like this. But without further ado, let's get into the rules for a quick second. Like I said, there aren't many. I guess the rule is that there aren't really too many rules. We're just gonna rebuild this like we would with a normal team. And of course, the challenge here is starting with a horrible roster. Oh yeah, and I don't think we can relocate until year 2, but I think it's pretty obvious where I'm gonna relocate the Jaguars. Their kind of relocation rumor in real life is what's gonna happen here. But let's just get straight to the end of year 1, and it's gonna be interesting to see how this team does. I'm gonna predict 2-15. That's my record prediction. We'll see what happens. Oh wait, and actually, I didn't know you could just instantly relocate. I know at one point you had to wait a year to relocate. Okay, I would have done this sooner if I would have known, but we relocated to London. I also don't know what Huskies have to do with London, but I like the colors, all right? That's why I picked them. But it looks like my prediction was decent. We finished 1-16. That's to be expected with a now 71 overall team. But I'm not going to spend too much time on the stats. There really isn't much here. These quarterbacks weren't exactly set up for success on this team. 2.9 yards per carry from Chris Brooks. Trey Palmer was decent. Our blocking was fine except for Wanya Morris. And then Trenton Simpson, 133 tackles, 14 TFLs for Foskey, and also 6 sacks. He was pretty good. Definitely not good enough for Defensive Rookie of the Year, but good. Oh yeah, and I feel the need to say, I'm sure this video is going to be titled like, I rebuilt a team of only bad players. I don't think most players here are bad, but they are a bad overall because they are unproven. So that's why I'm going to title it that. A team of bad players sounds better than a team of unproven or like something like that. You know what I mean? It's just a good title, all right? Because I'm sure I'm going to get a million comments like, oh, this player isn't bad. I'm like, yeah, but they haven't really played yet. But I highly doubt we're going to see anyone for any awards other than maybe Defensive Rookie of the Year. Okay, Trenton Simpson was at number 9 for Defensive Player of the Year. Don't think he's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, though, because Leatu Latu was above him, an actual rookie. But Trey Palmer at 10 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. And yeah, Leatu Latu, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Simpson at 2. Foskey at 5. Sanders at 6. Understandable. But let's get into this first off season. I don't think we're going to add many free agents, but if we have a good draft this year, we could already be decent heading into year 2. We'll see what happens. But in the draft, we just straight up skipped over free agency. It was awful. There was nobody good available. I mean, there was like Grover Stewart, but he's 30 something, so I was good. And he was like the best player available. So in the draft, which, by the way, that Huskies background looks kind of sick, not gonna lie. We got pretty lucky here. This is a pretty good quarterback class, mostly because of Mike Silvers, a top 5 talent. And what's even better is he isn't projected to go until the 1st to 2nd round, like late 1st. I think we're gonna trade this pick back a little bit and just see how many good players we can get. I think we're really only gonna draft offense this year, just so we don't ruin Mike Silvers with a horrible offense around him. And then next year we'll worry more about the defense. I feel like that's a good strat for this. Kind of build up one side of the ball and then build up the other. So let's trade back. I'm scared. Sometimes good players get taken where they should, or at least close to it, and sometimes they do fall to where they're projected to get picked. so I don't want to trade back that much. It would probably be fine to trade back to like 15 or something or later, but I don't even want to come even close to risking it. But we are going to be trading the first overall pick to the Titans for pick 7, a second round pick this year, a first next year, and a second next year. I think that's about fair. I'm just really hoping our quarterback doesn't get taken. And, you know, there's no reason he should. He isn't projected to go for a while. There is also still Clark Rett, a first to second round talent, but I think I'll go with the top 5 talent in Mike Silvers. Elite throw power, speed, jumping, change of direction, and acceleration. I don't think he'll be a crazy overall, but probably a 78, 79. God, our uniforms are awful. Why is there such a big gap between the numbers? If you would move his arms. Ugh. But more importantly, our quarterback that we just picked, hidden dev, 96 throw power, 93 speed. That's insane. But now in the second round, I think I'm gonna look for a receiver. Oh, okay, Greg Phillips has horrible deep route, but everything else is pretty good. Only solid speed, but good excel, elite jumping. I'll look around a little bit, but that guy's kind of crazy. Okay, yeah, we'll take him. I don't think he's going to be crazy good just because of the speed and deep route running, but if one of those A ratings are like super good, then he could be super good. It is a little concerning that he's fallen a little bit because he was supposed to go like mid-first, round 1 projection, but we'll still take him. He surprisingly has hidden dev, 98 jumping. We'll take that. Well, there is still a first round talent QB available. Clark Rett is still here. Did only the top 2 QBs get taken, or I guess the top QB and then Matt Silvers or Silver? What was his name? I don't know. Whatever. We'll find out in a second. All right, and unfortunately, I don't see any like great O linemen, but I do like Matt Scott. Decent strength, elite agility for whatever that's worth on the O line. His lead block's horrible, but he's a good pass blocker. I think I don't know if he's the best lineman here, but he looks pretty good. He does have hidden dev, not the strongest in the world, but good acceleration. But I'm gonna make the rest of these picks here. I'm probably gonna pick like all offensive linemen, but we will see how we did. Okay, this draft was even better than I expected. So Mike Silvers is a 79. That's about what I was hoping for. Of course, 96 throw power, 87 break sack, 85 throw on the run, decent accuracy. Of course, very fast. Great pick there. And then Greg Phillips is a 78. I'm assuming only star dev because there would be no reason he should fall. I thought that said 5'3", good lord. But mostly just a really well-rounded player, I guess. I mean, I know he's more of a possession type receiver, but like good short route, good medium route, not the slowest in the world. And then Matt Scott, I thought he would be like a 75. He's a 79. He's just a crazy good pass blocker. I feel like I got a little lucky there because, you know, we didn't really know that he was a crazy pass blocker. We knew he was a good one, but 85 power, 83 finesse. I think he'll be our left tackle. He is only 6'3", but I don't really know if I care about that. We need a left tackle. And then Will Joyner, 75 overall. I think he was the first player I didn't show that I picked, and we were perfect on hidden devs for the first 5 picks. Ben Riddle also had hidden dev. He's not great, but he's fine. I think Dean Knight was the only non-hidden dev we got. Him and then our 7th round pick. But last pick I'm really gonna bring up, Malcolm Turk. This dude looked insane. He had 4.45 speed, and he had like only A ratings for everything that was scouted. He has 93 carrying, 86 stiff arm, 84 vision, 80 strength, 92 speed. So he'll be our starting running back for at least this year. Now, Madden generated running backs don't play well, so we'll see if we keep him. But if he does do well, then he could be our running back for the rebuild. Very good first draft. I want to see, where does our class rank? Okay, there were only 280 pluses. Clay Peppers, and then the number 1 pick, LaMarcus Peoples, a receiver at number 1. I mean, that's fine, but that doesn't usually happen. But Mike Silver's up there. If I didn't move Scott to left tackle, he would also be like right in here, close to a top 5 talent. Greg Phillips also up here. Will Joyner was like a 1st to 2nd-ish round talent. Same with Turk. We did pretty well. But here's a look at the team heading into year 2, and this offense could be really good already. I mean, at the very least, it should develop. I don't know for sure if it'll be good, but it could be a good overall by the end of the year, I should say. I don't know if its performance will be great, but you never know, it could be. We're basically just going to start every hidden dev player that we have to try to develop them them. And then the defense isn't quite as good. I mean, it's not horrible. We have players that could develop. Emmanuel Forbes went up, I think, 11 overall from last year. He started as a 69. He's now an 80 overall. He has 92 man, but only 67 zone. That's something. Oh yeah, and Trenton Simpson has superstar dev. Another player that I don't think is actually bad, just unproven. Doesn't really say why he got superstar dev, but we'll take it. Now let me see. I don't usually predict our record that many times, but it's kind of fun. How do I think we're gonna do this year? I think we will go 4-13. That's my guess. I think we'll win 4 games. Let's see what happens. Okay, well, maybe 4 wins was a little ambitious. We are 0-6 at the midseason. I mean, we'll see. You never know. We could have a second half of the year bounce back. We have a actually decent defense. Well, decent in terms of yards, but our offense is horrible, which is probably the opposite of what it should be, because our offense is quite a bit better than our defense. I mean, neither are good, but still. God, we have I'll have to worry about all the re-signings. I don't want to bore y'all with re-signing everybody here, so you know what? We will do the important ones, though. Emmanuel Forbes, we definitely want back. He's really cheap, too. 7 years, 70 mil. That's a ridiculously long deal for not being that expensive, but he takes it. Drew Sanders, 6 years, same deal here, only 45 mil. He doesn't take it. Okay, I wouldn't either. Well, I would, believe me, but if I were him, I probably wouldn't take that. And then I'll worry about all the rest of these. But all right, let's get to the end of the year, and hopefully, you know what? Do I hope that we bounce back, or do I hope that we get the number? I hope we finish at 4 wins, but I hope we still get the #1 pick. That's the goal. I also didn't realize that trading with the Titans was an interdivision trade. I kind of forgot what team we originally were. Oh well. Oh, hey, I know this game too well. We finish with 4 wins. Let's go. I literally set it as the season goal too. I was so confident it was gonna happen. I never set the season goal. I just accidentally clicked it, but let me show y'all I didn't cheat. We went 3-4 in the last 4 games. Or no, 3-1 in the last 4 games. 3 of 4, I guess. We actually finished the season pretty good. That's interesting. I mean, before that point, we were what? 1-13 or something? Or 1-12? But let's check out our season stats. Mike Silvers definitely wasn't the problem. 3,400 yards, 26 touchdowns, 11 picks. Good year. Honestly, really good year considering the team around him. Malcolm Turk was bad, but not as bad as I was expecting. Only 700 yards, only 3.3 per carry, but I was expecting like 2.8 or something. Greg Phillips, probably gonna win Offensive Rookie of the Year, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. We'll probably get #2 though. Someone will probably cuck us. Tavares Stevens was pretty good though. Blocking was really good. Matt Scott was crazy good at left tackle. And then Drew Sanders, 124 tackles, 19 TFLs for Isaiah Foskey, and sacks, 8 for Zach Harrison. That's interesting. I guess we'll re-sign him, but really that's like our only sack production. 4.5 for Foskey, nothing else. And then we had a decent amount of picks, 2 for Forbes and then 1 for like 6 different players. I'm not gonna list all them. MVP goes to Caleb Williams. That's interesting. But nobody up there for Offensive Player of the Year. Nobody for Defensive Player of the Year either. Not really surprising. But Greg Phillips does win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Okay, that could be good or bad. We'll check the dev traits in a second. But Silver's at 2. Tavares Stevens at 4. Will Joyner at 7. Malcolm Turk at 8. Just a few players up there. And then nobody up there for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Not really surprising because we had like 1 defensive rookie. But do we want to check dev traits now? I guess we will. And then we'll check what increases we get. So this is pretty important. I really hope Matt Silvers has a good one, because if he doesn't, then it's going to be really hard to develop him. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't, because he was projected to go 1st to 2nd round. But let's see. No, he has superstar. So does Greg Phillips. So does Matt Scott. And Malcolm Turk has X Factor. Okay, we're looking good. Now we need Malcolm Turk to play well, but that X Factor will hopefully get him to a good enough overall to play well. We got pretty lucky with dev traits. I don't know the last time that I've gotten 4 superstar or betters in the same draft. It's probably been a while. But let's get into the offseason here, and we will try to sign some free agents this year, again, assuming there are any. And for dev increases, I'm kind of disappointed. Stevens got superstar, which is cool. He didn't get any XP though, but at least he got superstar. But Phillips didn't get X Factor. I mean, I guess he wasn't necessarily good enough. I mean, 1,000 yards is good, but that isn't like insane. I still wish he got X Factor. And did we get any dev ups on defense? Don't think so. So just 1 with Stevens. That's unfortunate. But now for the rest of these re-signings, I'm surprised Zach Harrison also didn't get a dev trait, but we'll re-sign him. Drew Sanders, I definitely want back. back, though. He doesn't re-sign. I'm not going to tag him, so he might be leaving, unfortunately. But, I mean, we can probably find another linebacker. That's not too hard to do. Zach Harrison I want back, though. 3 years, 22 mil. He takes it. And then everyone else, I think I'm good. Like, most of these guys haven't been great. Wanya Morris has actually been decent. He does re-sign. But everyone else, I think we will just let go. So let's get into free agency. And again, hopefully it's a good class. Please. But okay, here's what we're going to do in free agency. I've already made up my mind on who we are going to go for. It is not a lot of players, but a few of them. Now, believe it or not many players are interested in signing with us. I think that is partially due to having a bad team. Probably also the fact that we are in London, and that's just a little bit away from, you know, where we're going to be playing most of our games, or half of them. I mean, more players are interested than I expected, but I was going to go for Joel Bitonio or Wyatt Teller, and neither of them are interested. Now, I mean, we still can go for them, but, like, the Commanders have a full 5-bar offer, whatever you want to call it, so probably not going to happen. Same with Joel Bitonio. The Vikings have a good offer for him. You know what? We might as well try for Bitonio at least, because there aren't that many teams that have a green offer for him, so we'll try. Maybe he hates the Vikings. I don't know. But we're also going to go for Paulson Adebo, which if he doesn't sign with us, that sucks, because that means he's going to go to the Texans, who are obviously a division rival here. So hopefully we get him. And then kicker, punter, and then we'll try to bring Drew Sanders back. So there's a chance we just get Drew Sanders back. Honestly, a very, very, very good chance, but we'll see if any of these players want to sign. Everybody signs except Chase McLaughlin, and we get... Okay, we do get Paulson Adebo, thankfully. We also get Matt Araiza and Drew Sanders back, so that's cool. I don't really care if we get Chase McLaughlin or not. We do. Okay, cool. But let's get to the draft, and we could hit an 80 overall after this draft. We will see. But this year in the draft, we pick all the way at number 4, going 4 and 13. I mean, I guess, but I thought it would be a tiny bit higher. Close enough, I guess, but there is one player I really want. He's not a top 5 talent. Now, to be fair, I haven't checked his speed, but Tracy Holmes out of West Virginia. He ran a 4.42, great speed, elite acceleration. I don't love the play rec, but usually corners don't have good play rec anyways. A-man, A-press, A-zone, A-tackle too, so he's also a good run defender for whatever that's worth. I mean, there's definitely a little value to that at least. Really don't think he's going to be available, and we're not really in a position to be able to trade up. Like, we need all the picks we have, so the Patriots go with Marquis McDougal, which is a crazy name. The Cardinals go with a tight end, Marcus Burke, at number 2, and he's going to go right here, isn't he? The Broncos also go with a tight end. Why? Must have been a good tight end class. I don't know. But I'm going to go with Tracy Holmes pretty clearly. Now, what's our second pick? It looked like the Titans were decent at the midseason. 25th. It looks like they made the playoffs, so that sucks. We'll see if Tevin Binns is still there. He's good. There is also Mike Fuller. We'll see. But let's go with Tracy Holmes as our first pick. Hidden dev, 93 speed, 94 excel. I think he's a really good corner. Maybe like an 80 something. We'll see. The only thing concerning is the play rec, but I think it'll be mostly fine, I hope. Oh, great. Tevin Binns goes 1 pick before us to the Dolphins. Awesome. Well, let's see. How does Jeremy Shaw look? Great speed, great excel, good strength. The play rec, though. With a corner, it's fine because they always have bad play rec, but with an outside line, with a pass rusher, usually if they have bad play rec, it's because they are bad. But everything else with him looks so good that I don't know. Will Thomas looks good. Elite speed and elite acceleration. Only B awareness and only C block shed, C to F tackle. Okay, he's a bad run defender. A finesse moves, A pursuit. Also might have too many flaws to draft him, but he is fast. Jaleel Baldwin is just slow, so I'm good. Let's just go with maybe the safe player in Mike Fuller. Now, hopefully he has a dev trait, but nah, you know what? We'll wait. We can take him like round 3. What am I talking about? Let's take a chance on, should we go Will Thomas? Juan Horton looks honestly pretty good, maybe better, because he's also fast, but also a good run defender. Okay, yeah, I think we'll go with Juan Horton out of LSU. Hidden dev, 84 speed, 87 excel, 81 strength. There's a chance the other guy was better, but I think Juan Horton's better. We'll see. And now just like 11 picks later or something. God, this is not a great safety class. The only one who looks all right is Christopher Allen, but even then, maybe. Isaac Battle had a ridiculous combine at defensive tackle, 4.9 speed and 41 bench reps, 302 pounds. We might have to take him just for that. Jerry Moulton, also good. Ramon Medlock looks good too. Later, he's a pure nose tackle though. He's 345 185 pounds. Oh, Calvin Rowland is 405 pounds. Why? How does that even happen? I get bulking up to play the position, but that's a bit extreme. And he's only 6'4". It's not like he's 6'8" or 6'9", 405. He's just, you know what? We might have to take him later just for fun. I think the better strategy would be to go with Isaac Battle and then a safety like late second. That probably would be the better strat. We'll do that. That's smarter. Isaac Battle, welcome to the team. Only normal dev, so maybe it wasn't. Never mind. But last pick I'm gonna show this year. We could go with a corner and move him to safety. That's probably a good idea. Cole Myers looks decent enough. He has elite speed and elite acceleration. He only ran a 4.38. That isn't elite. That's great, but definitely not elite. I think you would save elite for like 4.2s. But we'll take him. Only normal dev, but we'll see what he is at safety. We could also move one of our current corners to safety. We'll figure something out. But here's how we did in the draft. Tracy Holmes, 81 overall, we'll take that. Of course, very fast, 81 man, 80 zone, 79 press. So he'll be our number, will he be our number one? I think he'll be our number 2 corner. I think Emmanuel Forbes is a little better, but we could play Holmes as the number 1, we'll see. Juan Horton was only a 74 at outside linebacker, went up to a 75 at defensive end. That was a good pick. Isaac Battles a 75. I wish he had a dev trait, but he is pretty good. Cole Myers was a 77 at corner, went down to a 74 at safety. We'll see what we want to do there. He might not end up playing safety. Just bad tackling and pursuit probably does it. So we'll see who else we have on the roster. And then Mike Fuller, I ended up getting him, 74 overall, hidden dev. So it was definitely better to go with Horton. And then I think the order we did everything was fine. Maybe it would have been better to go with, what was his name? Not Winslow, but Winslow is good. Oh, I guess Winslow was better than Allen. Really? Winslow was slow. He is slow in his name. I don't understand what's, just his awareness? I guess his zone is fine. This guy doesn't look that good. This is a 76 overall. I guess he has good pursuit, but whatever. I don't know. It worked out fine the way we did it. And then Chad Davis had hidden dev, but Deontay De Carvalho, whatever, another massive person, 98 strength, 354 pounds, enough said. I again took every pick, lengthy draft. David Nichols isn't that good. He was our last pick. No dev trait, L. But another good draft. Not as good as last year, but to be fair, we got pretty lucky last year. Oh yeah, and Tracy Holmes was the number 3 player in the class, so that's cool. But let's get into year number 3, and we should be looking pretty decent. But here's a look at the team heading into year 3. We are looking good. Not quite the 80 overall I predicted, but good. A 79 offense, and then a 77 overall defense with a few rookies. Not as many rookies starting as, you know, our offense had last year, but our defense got a little longer to develop, but a whole new D-line, and I actually moved Holmes to free safety because he didn't go down in overall. He stayed in 81, and he would have been our 3rd corner. I completely forgot we signed Paulson Adebo, so my fault, but I mean, that was still a good pick, I guess. I mean, a safety at like number 4 overall isn't as good as a corner at number 4 overall, obviously, but in terms of overall, that was a good pick, so we'll take it. And you know what? I'm having fun trying to predict the records, so I'm gonna say, God, year 3 is kind of weird in simulation. I'm gonna say 3 wins this year. I'm gonna say we're gonna be worse despite being a better overall because Madden and because EA. But let's get to the midseason point and we will see how we are doing. Okay, never mind. L prediction. We are 4-3. We are already better than the win total I predicted, so I guess I'll retire from my predictions, maybe, until I predict next year again, probably. Now, to be fair, our yards are pretty bad. We're 22nd for offensive yards, 25th for defensive yards, but the points are good, and our defense overall is really good, so that's fun, I guess. And again, we have a lot of re-signings, but nothing really that important. So really not much to do here. So let's just get to the end of the year, and hopefully we can keep up the pretty decent performance in this season. That was a weird way to phrase what I was trying to say there, but you know what I mean. Okay, well, here we are at the end of the year, and if you've seen one of my videos before, y'all know why we're here. So super quick, before I reveal how we did in year 3, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like on the video. And again, if we can get to 2,500 likes, I'll do a fantasy draft version of this. I could also do one where I just take a team from, or a player from each team where there's no overall restriction. That would be fun too. We'll see. Let me know down in the comments what I should do. Something similar to that. But anyways, be sure to subscribe too, because I'm going to be doing videos all summer and forever, I guess. And if you like rebuilds, that's literally all I do. Oh yeah, and actually, question of the day, I almost forgot, as always. Here's kind of a fun one. Who is one breakout player, or I guess I should say one player who you think is gonna break out this year, not on your favorite team? So you can't be biased here, but let me know that down in the comments. One breakout player not on your favorite team. I'm gonna say say, who's a good one? Let me pull up a random team. All right, the Buccaneers, let's see. Kalijah Cansey could be one. Zion McCollum, maybe. KJ Britt, those will be my all defensive players I picked, but those are decent answers. There are too many players, I couldn't pick a specific one, so I just went with a specific team. Those are my answers, sure. But finally, in year number 3, we finished 10-7 and we made the playoffs. We weren't amazing, but we were probably better than we should have been. Now, it looks like we probably just barely made the playoffs. We beat the Colts in week 18. I'm glad we did. They were horrible, to be fair. They were 2-15, but we are surprisingly in the playoffs. But Mike Silvers, 3,700 yards, 34 touchdowns, only 10 picks. He was very good. And even Malcolm Turk finally, well, I guess not finally, it's only his second year, but had a good year this year. Almost 1,100 yards, 4 per carry, 10 touchdowns. 4 isn't phenomenal, but, well, let me tell you, 4 would be, I mean, I think 4 is a lot. That's not funny, whatever. 1,100 yards for Greg Phillips, 9 touchdowns, 900 yards for Tavares Stevens. I didn't know the Jags offense goes to tight ends this much, but that's cool. That's good to know. Am I even using the Jags offense? I think I am. And then Jonathan Mingo had 10 touchdowns for some reason, but for blocking, it was still good. Kenyon Green, 0 sacks allowed. Good amount of tackles, 115 for Trenton Simpson led the team. Good amount of TFLs. Not that many though, at least compared to usual, but sacks, 11.5 for Juan Horton as a rookie. Really good year for him. Can't wait for him to get number 2 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I honestly thought he had superstar because he was developing really quickly to begin. I mean, he did develop really quickly. He went up 7 overall in just his rookie year. Only star dev, but he did develop, so that's cool. 6.5 for Fuller as a rookie, but that's it. And only 2 picks on the year. Didn't we have like 10 last year? I mean, 10 isn't crazy, but it's a lot better than this. But MVP goes to Patrick Mahomes. Big surprise. No Huskies up here. Nobody up here for Offensive Player of the Year. Nobody up here for Defensive Player of the Year either. That's kind of surprising. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to a Jets player, Matt Hitchens. Am I checking the right conference? Yeah, we're an AFC team. No Huskies, but we didn't really have anyone on offense. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year, my guess is number 2. No, we do win it. Juan Horton. I'm surprised he wasn't up there for Defensive Player of the Year. I guess he just didn't have a lot of TFLs, but he does win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Mike Fuller at 2, so we top 2 with our defensive ends, our edge rushers. Isaac Battle at 8. Tevin Binns was up there, but all the way down at number 10, so I guess we got the better players. I am curious, though. I should have checked what Tevin Binns' overall was. Oh, he's only a 79 now with star dev, but he would have been a better scheme fit because we have, like, the speed rusher thing that you can't change, where, like, our rush ends are locked as both speed rushers, but whatever. We got the guy who ended up a higher overall, so who's the real winner? But we have some upgrades here. Anything important? Isaac Battle, Ben Riddle. I honestly forgot Ben Riddle existed, but we are going to be losing in the wild card to the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, knowing Madden, we'll probably win this game, but we don't deserve to. Isn't that a different color from our team? Like, look at the background compared to his, like, shirt. That's not really our team color, but sure. Or at least the background wasn't. I don't know. Maybe it was just dark in there. Interviewing the dungeon, if you catch my drift. But let's see if we can beat the Ravens here. My guess is no, but my guess is also yes, because EA. Okay, we do not win, but it was close. It shouldn't have been close. Or did I say we win? I meant we lose. We lose. You see. We lose 31-28 to the Ravens. Understandable. Let's get into the offseason, and this is where, assuming free agents are actually interested in joining the team, this is where we could become a really good roster. I know I've been saying that. I know I always say that, but to be fair, if I do say that, usually free agency is bad, so hopefully it isn't. But this year for dev increases, that sounds like a name, but dev trait increases, dev ups, whatever you want to call them. Juan Horton got one. He got superstar for winning Defensive Rookie of the Year, but I think that was again. I mean, to be fair, I don't know who really deserved one, but I don't know, maybe Silvers, maybe Phillips, because he's been really good 2 years in a row. I guess he wasn't insanely good either year, but whatever. Again, like last year, at least we got one. But let's see. I don't think we're going to re-sign anyone, honestly. We don't really have a reason to. It's all just a bunch of backups. So let's see. Will there be any good free agents this year? I hope so. We need something. No. Great. I have a question, though. What has really even been the problem with our team? Like, I get on paper we have issues like right tackle. We probably need another receiver and like pretty much every position on defense. But like, I don't know. Last year, turnovers were our issue on defense, but the year before they were good. So I don't know which to trust. And honestly, we have pretty good DBs. I guess we can sign Kyle Duggar, but like he had 0 picks last year. That's not great, obviously. I don't know. We could still maybe use another pass rusher here just because, like, I mean, sophomore slumps can be a thing in real life, but they are extreme for pass rushers in this game. They'll go from like 12 their rookie year to 1 in year 2. I mean, that's a very extreme example, but like still. Let's see, I still do think we needed a better defensive tackle. Leonard Williams is interested. He has superstar dev. Unfortunately, 2 other teams are interested. We'll go very player friendly though. We'll see if we can get him. I feel the need to do something, obviously. Thayer Munford, I mean, not exactly a great pass blocker in real life, but I'm sure he is here. No, never mind. 14 sacks allowed. Abe Lucas, are you good? About the same as, not Wanya Thomas. What? I don't know. I can't think of his name. The Chiefs tackle. You know who I'm talking about. Our starter. Ronnie Stanley is always terrible when I sign him. He's always good for the Ravens, probably because they don't pass much still in this game. I mean, they do a little bit, but they pass more in real life. Rasheed Walker probably hasn't been starting for the Packers. I want to tackle, but none of them are good. There is not like one consistently good performing tackle in this game, and I don't know why. It's infuriating. It's maybe my least favorite thing about this game. I get tackles doing poorly, but the ones that do poorly is just whatever. But I guess this is all we're gonna do in free agency. Leonard Williams, Kyle Duggar, and Trent Brown. I don't know if we're gonna get Leonard Williams or Kyle Duggar, because it's the same 2 teams competing with us, the Seahawks and Patriots. I'll go very player friendly for Duggar, because I don't think I did. I think I just went player friendly. We'll see. And then we'll also go for Trent Brown. 3 players that are interested, so I guess there's a chance we get all 3, but there's a chance we only get Trent Brown. Let's see what happens. All 3 of them sign, and we do get all 3. Okay, cool. That's what we needed. We honestly needed a lot more than this, but at least we get a few players. I'm kind of wondering if I should make a draft day trade here, because we still have a few issues with this team. We'll see. We're really lacking, like, superstar talent. We have a lot of good players, but I guess we have superstar devs, but I mean, like, overall wise, nobody above, like, a base 86. Like, without morale, Silvers is our highest at an 86, so we'll see. Depends on who's available in the draft. Okay, we pick at number 20. I kind of forgot we were actually decent this year. I don't know why. I'm half tempted to trade up this year because I really like Kendall Barner. Okay, he's actually not that fast. I probably should have checked that, but I mean, look at his ratings. Usually this is like someone that would be up in the top. Maybe he is like ranked 6 though. Let me see. Okay, he is. Never mind. All right, we can't really trade up that far, but he is very good. So we'll just see. Is there anyone super great at pick 20? There are lots of QBs. Well, I guess 2, but a top 5 talent, Joe Fulton. He looks decent. Looks pretty good actually, but I'm not gonna take him. Let's see. I focus scouted Enrique Mills, but he's just fine. So I do think we are gonna trade this pick. There isn't anyone here I'm crazy about. The question is, what position do we want to go for? What's our biggest need? I don't even really know. We kind of almost need everything equally at this point. Let's see. Okay, we are going to be trading our first round pick for Chris Olave. Not the receiver I was planning on trading for, but I was planning on trading for a receiver. There were a lot of options. I don't necessarily think the Saints would be willing to part with him because he's like the only receiver they have, but this isn't exactly a realistic rebuild. We'll just say that. I mean, I always try to keep my rebuilds a little bit realistic, but yeah, that's the trade. And now we have a very good receiving core. But in round 2, this honestly doesn't look like that great of a draft class, honestly. That's also part of the reason why I traded our first round pick. Ooh, Tremaine Crowder actually maybe looks decent. I don't know. It's hard to say. But honestly, at this point, we really don't have a lot to gain from drafting, unless we get someone really good, obviously, but that's pretty hard to do at this point. Let's see. We do still need linemen though, and I think I'm gonna go with Drew Burke. First round talent, one of the players I focus scouted, elite strength, really good ratings, sounds good. Hidden dev, 95 strength. We will take that. Okay, there were good players here. I just forgot about him. But last pick I'm gonna show this year, possibly the last pick I'm gonna show of the rebuild. I guess it depends on how well we do this year. Should we go with another lineman? I guess we could. I still don't love our O-line, and y'all know my strategy of like benching all of them at the midseason. Let's see, there's David Bailey, who isn't fully scouted, but looks really good. And then there's Chris Callaway, who is scouted, first to second round talent. Who do I think is better? I think Bailey looks better, but Callaway's the safer pick because we know he's a first to second round talent. We'll go with Bailey though. I mean, really, really good combine. Great ratings. Looks really similar to the guard we just took, but not quite as strong, but a little faster. Just these ratings right here look really similar. Are they exactly the same? Wait, they are. Just Burke had C injury for sure, and then D stamina, but everything else is the same. That's interesting, but we'll take him. Hidden dev, 89 strength, 76 speed, 86 acceleration. I think that was the right move. We'll see. crazy. But here's how he did in the draft. Drew Burke is very good. 78 overall, of course, 95 strength, 90 impact blocking, and then really good finesse. David Bailey isn't great. The other center would have been better, but at least, I mean, Bailey's a year younger, and he for sure has hidden dev. Maybe the other guy didn't. I don't know. We'll never know. I'll just pretend that we got the better center. How about that? And then my last pick was Taylor Myers. He was interesting. I didn't know if he would be good or not because he has horrible zone coverage, 59, but he had A man, and then he had like A play rec, and I think he had A tackle. 81 play rec. This guy's weird. Only 63 awareness though. Who is this corner supposed to be? Like, what is this archetype? Is there anyone in real life that exists like this? Amazing play recognition, but horrible, at least bad awareness. Great man, but not that fast. Like, that's a weird combination. And then horrible zone. I don't know. Definitely a decent draft. Obviously not as many picks this year. Only 6 compared to however many we had the last 2 years. But let's get into year 4 and we will see how we are looking. We could be looking pretty good now. But okay, we are an 83 overall heading into year 4. We were an 84 like a second ago in the, well, I guess we're still in the preseason, but like the first week of the preseason. So I don't know what happened. I don't think any morale wore off. The game just doesn't like me. Skill issue, I guess. But yeah, we should develop a ton throughout the year. Like, this team is still super young. We did add a few older players like Leonard Williams, Kyle Duggar, but for the most part, it is still a very young team. Even Chris Olave is still only like, what, 26? Yeah, 26. God, I hate these uniforms. Ugh. They look like CFL jerseys or something. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see how we do. There is always one down year in simulation, so it wasn't last year, so it could be this year, or maybe it won't happen at all. We'll see. I'm expecting at the midseason we'll be doing bad, and that's where I'm gonna bench like our entire offensive line probably. So let's get to the midseason point, and we will see what happens. Okay, well, maybe I just need to keep predicting that we'll be bad, and we will never be bad. We are 4-2 at the midseason. Now, to be fair, our offense isn't great, and it never really has been great here. At least I don't think it has. Is that something we can fix? Should I change the playbook? Mike Silvers is doing really well. Malcolm Turk is doing all right. Is the blocking good? It's good enough. I don't know. Just as a whole, it isn't great. We'll think about changing it after the year. But let's see. Any important re-signings? We'll have the 5th year for Mike Silvers. We can re-sign Trent Brown, but I'll do that after the year because I'm sure if I re-sign him now, he'll play horribly for the rest of the year and he'll regress this offseason. So he might even retire. We'll see. But yeah, we're doing well. I hope we can keep it up, and I am half thinking about changing the offensive playbook. Not yet, but let's get to the end of the year and we will see how we finish. Okay, and no, we do not fall off too bad. We finish 10-7 and we make the playoffs once again. Now, our defense got a little worse and our offense got a little better, which I kind of wish didn't happen. I wish we, for sure had an issue with this team. I guess our defense ended up being worse than our offense, it looks like. Not in terms of yards, but pretty much everything else. Let's see what the stats look like. Let's see what happened. So Mike Silvers was very good. Almost 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns, only 5 picks, and a 73 completion percentage. What a pick he was. I mean, he wasn't necessarily a steal, but probably should have gone number 1. Malcolm Turk was a little worse this year. Didn't hit 1,000 yards, only 3.8 per carry, 13 touchdowns. Not great. Chris Olave, 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, 1 yard away from 1,000 for Greg Phillips, of course. The blocking was good. 128 tackles for Simpson led the team. 22 TFLs for Juan Horton, 15 for Fuller and Williams, and sacks. Juan Horton did repeat and was honestly like considerably better this year, at least in terms of stats because of the TFLs. But 5 sacks for Fuller and Williams, 4 for Drew Sanders, and then interceptions, 3 for Debo, and then 1 for 3 different players. So I don't really know what the problem with our defense was, or either side of the ball. Well, our run game on offense wasn't great, but on defense, I don't really know. But Mike Silvers at number 8 for MVP. Juan Horton at number 5 for Defensive Player of the Year. That's cool. Andrew Clinton at number 8 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I definitely know who that is. I think that might be like our 3rd string running back or our number 2 tight end. I don't know. And then nobody up here for Defensive Rookie of the Year, unfortunately. But at least we made the playoffs. That's a plus. Now let's see. As for hidden dev traits, not many great ones. Burke only had star. I guess that was our only starter on offense with hidden dev. And then I don't think we had any on defense. So whatever. We didn't get many hidden devs to begin with, at least that really would make an impact. So who cares? But we are going to be taking on the Broncos in the wild card here. Now we actually have the same overall team as them. It looks like they performed better in the regular season though, especially on defense, which again, ours was good for the first half of the year, but finished pretty terribly. What playbooks do? I know we set the Falcons Falcons defense because they hired Ryan. Is his name Ryan Nielsen? Yeah, one of the best defensive coordinators, but isn't really working out here. I mean, I don't know though. We just haven't had that good of a roster, so it's hard to say. But I think I might change our offensive playbook. I don't know if I want to go full Kansas City. How about Buffalo? We'll try that. Might as well switch it up. I know our offense got better, but I kind of want to lean away from the running game, and I don't think the Bills offense runs that much. But let's see what happens here. Let's see if we can beat the Broncos. I mean, you know, is London cold? I know it's rainy and depressing, but oh no, it's at home anyways. Never mind. I was thinking we were going to Denver. No, it's at home. So that realistically should be a massive advantage with the Broncos having to go so far. But let's simulate this game and let's see what happens. And we do win. We destroy the Broncos 36-14. So maybe the new offensive playbook was a good choice. We'll see. I don't really use the Bills offense that much. Maybe I should though, because I think it uses a good spread of the top 3 receivers. I might be wrong. Okay, well, it uses a good spread of the top 2. At least it did for them, but that's not many yards total. And it does have a decent amount of rushing. Maybe it looks really similar to the Jags offense. Maybe this isn't really much. These are like almost identically our stats, like very close. That's interesting. But we have a hot opponent because, you know, speaking of the Bills, we are going to be taking them on here. They are 14-3, but we will go be confident. Y'all know me. And let's see if we can somehow beat the Bills here. I won't be too upset if we lose. I mean, we're the same overall, so that means we are probably going to get smoked. Okay, no, we do win them. Maybe this is our year. Or we do win them. We beat them. You know what I mean? Maybe we should make this the final year. I mean, if we go out here, we'll do another year, but if we make the Super Bowl, I mean, I don't know. This team could get better, though. We'll see. I'm running out of time, though. We have a hot opponent scenario here, or the recap for it. Surprisingly, the Chiefs aren't a hot opponent, but we get plus 10 everything and 2,500 XP. That's huge, especially for a young team. No upgrades, though, or I think we'll have to go to the lineup. Yeah. Okay, decent amount of upgrades. Not too many, but a few starters, a couple starters. But if we lose this game here, I definitely can't complain. It is the Chiefs. So let's see if we can take them down and move on to the Super Bowl. And we do not. We lose 31-24. That's valid, though. But we are going to do one more year. It's going to be a quick year, so I can get this out on time. But we are like so close to being a great team. I mean, we really are. We were in the conference championship and barely lost to probably going to win the Super Bowl. Now that I said that, they won't, but let's see. Okay, they do. 38-31. So we were right there. We lost to the Chiefs by the same amount that the Packers lost. So we are like, I guess, right on par with them. I know that's not exactly how that works, but whatever. But let's get into this final season and we will really try to upgrade this team as much as we can. But we'll pick up the 5th year for Silvers. It doesn't matter. He's also wearing 0. I haven't really pointed that out for some reason, but that's really strange. Kind of cool though. Are quarterbacks even allowed to wear 0 though? I feel like I saw something about a quarterback that's gonna wear 0. I can't remember who it is. I don't know, whatever. We'll re-sign Trent Brown. We'll go with another 1-year deal. He takes it. Surprisingly, didn't regress that much. I changed my regression sliders because I feel like players didn't regress enough, but whatever. And thankfully, it is finally a good free agent class. Unfortunately, a lot of the top players aren't interested in signing with us, but we will find a way. And we have a lot of money here, so we should be able to do something. But here I think is what we are going to do in free agency. We still have 40 mil left though. Let me add a few players actually. Just like random slight upgrades. Let's see, we can maybe use, no, the receiver class was horrible. Maybe a guard or a tackle. Our line's been good, but you know, if we can upgrade a little bit, we might as well. Maybe a D tackle. Our D line still hasn't been phenomenal other than Horton. I know we're going to be getting Aiden Hutchinson, but I'll see if there's a really good D tackle. And then I wanted Sauce Gardner, but we can't really compete for the lead for him or with, no, that's right. Whatever. I'm tired. All right. So let's see. Deron Payne, Michael Hall. How does Michael Hall do? I don't think I've ever used him in a rebuild. Maybe a while ago. It looks like he's been good. How about Payne? I know Deron Payne is pretty good. Ooh, okay, maybe not here. I guess he hasn't been playing a whole lot, but yeah. All right, let's get Michael Hall then, sure. And Ryan Ramczyk, why not? Just because that's an overall upgrade. But yeah, here's what we are going to do. Aiden Hutchinson, Tyler Linderbaum, Ryan Ramczyk, and Michael Hall Jr. We will see if we can get these 4 players. All 4 of them sign, and we do get all 4. What are we even going to do in the draft? I mean, this is a really good team now. 89 overall, that might be the best in the league. What are we going to do in the draft? Is there anything we can do? Maybe a safety, but it's going to be hard to get a player better than Kyle Duggar. We could still maybe use a number 3 corner just because we only have 79 overall. Both Myers are only a 79. So I think that's what we'll do. Maybe a linebacker too. We'll see. But here in the final draft for sure, we pick at number 29. fine. And honestly, in terms of like corners and safeties, again, it wasn't the best. There were some good corners at the top, but actually, the guy I focus scouted, Nick Ramsey, is still here and he looks pretty good. He only has solid speed, solid acceleration, which I guess is fair. I don't know. Should we take him? He looks good, but I think the speed might hold him back a little bit. The safeties just like straight up weren't great. I guess there is Dimitri Yancey, but he doesn't have any A ratings. He looks fine. Should we trade for a corner? I restructured all our deals and we do have a little more money. Let's make another trade. Let's look for a corner. We don't really need another corner, but mine as well. Okay, we are gonna trade our first round pick for Brian Branch. We more specifically needed a slot corner, so Brian Branch will obviously be that for us. Or not. Oh, never mind. I didn't notice it said trade declined. It says we have 21 mil in cap, but I guess not. Can I free up cap space like Derek Forrest? No. Darius Rush? No. That's so stupid. Why is that a thing? Like, you can obviously go over the cap space in real life. I mean, you can't stay over it, but you can go over it and then get back under it. But it doesn't even say we're over the cap space. It says we have 21 mil, now 22, and it's still okay, well, I guess we can't trade for a corner, at least not him, but Christian Gonzalez, another rookie from this last year in real life. Okay, that one gets accepted. Cool. But with probably the only pick I'm gonna show, let's take a linebacker, and I'm definitely gonna go for more of a cover linebacker. Ty Beatles, looks like he might fit that. A zone, now it's probably only gonna be like 65 zone or something, but that's an A for some reason. But yeah, we'll take him, Ty Beatles. The reason I want zone coverage is because, you know, for our sub linebacker position, we don't really have anyone that rates super high there. Like, I know that's a really specific need, but we're to the point where that's kind of the only thing we can draft for. My next pick is going to be for a receiving back because we don't really have one of those. But Beatles, hidden dev, 87 speed, 88 excel, cool. You know what that font looks like on the jerseys? It looks like the default Premiere Pro font. I'm sure very few people know that, but that's kind of what it looks like to me. It could be, you never know. But here's how we did in the draft. This is like the best I've ever seen the CPU pick. Like, normally the CPU picks, I don't know, about like this, like a whole lot of nothing, players that won't make the team, but we got some pretty good players from the CPU. But Ty Beatles, 76 overall hidden dev. I did check, I already recorded this segment, but I forgot to press the record button. I'm very smart. But Ty Beatles is tied for 19th in terms of overall in the class, so that was a very good pick. Delvin Cox isn't very good, but I can just sign a receiving back. That isn't hard. And I don't know what the CPU's strategy was. I mean, it picked good players, but like it picked 2 tight ends, and then it picked a linebacker, which we already picked. So whatever, it's still good players, more than I'm used to from the CPU. So good job, keep it up. But let's get into the final year and we will see how we are looking. But here we are heading into the final year here. Now, I may or may not have forgotten to record this part. I don't know what's wrong with me right now, but we may or may not be in week 3. That's all I'm saying. But we are looking really good. I also signed Alvin Kamara to be our receiving back. He's like 32 here. Yeah, 32. But we are a 90 overall, 92 offense, 88 defense. At the very least, I can say I did my part in making this roster good. Now, will Madden Simulation agree? Probably not, but I did what I could. This is a very good team. I unfortunately don't think we have really any players from the original team still starting other than the linebackers, but everyone else was kind of phased out. Also Emmanuel Forbes. But I mean, yeah, obviously insanely good team. I'm not really going to go over the, you know, moves we just made because y'all have already seen them, but let's get to the end of this year and we will see how we finish. Okay, well, I guess we are just destined to be 10-7 because we once again finished 10-7. Now, our defense absolutely carried us this year. We had the second best defense for yards, best for points per game allowed. Our offense was good-ish. It was actually kind of mid, maybe even below average, arguably, so that's not great, but let's check out our season stats. We'll see what happened. Mike Silvers was good, 4,200 yards, 31 touchdowns, 7 picks. Very similar year to last year. Turk, he kind of had that one decent year, and now he's kind of like, whatever. I mean, he had touchdowns, but like, y'all know how I feel about touchdowns as a stat, at least like rushing touchdowns. It's like, I don't know. Chris Olave, 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns, almost 1,100 yards for Greg Phillips, only 4 touchdowns though, 900 yards for Joyner. See, yeah, this is what the Bills offense kind of is. I didn't realize it's not very tight end oriented, but it's a good balance between your 3 receivers. The blocking was good. Simpson led the team in tackles again. Lots of TFLs, 19 for Horton, 18 for Williams, and sacks, 17 for Aiden Hutchinson, and 12.5 for Juan Horton. Probably the best duo in the league, I would assume. What a pick Juan Horton was. We almost didn't take him. I mean, he definitely wasn't this player when we took him. He almost has 99 power moves. I mean, he does with morale, but just almost a base 99. He's crazy. And then picks, not great. 3 for Debo, 2 for Gonzalez, and then 1 for a couple players. But the sacks, let's focus on the positives. But MVP goes to Lamar, or why do I always say Lamar? I read Lamar's name because I always see if Dak is here, and then I end up reading Lamar because I'm reading it. But Mahomes wins MVP. Lamar at number 2. No silver up here, or is it silver or silvers? Why? It's silvers. I can't remember that. I don't know why. But offensive player of the year goes to Rashee Rice. Controversial. Why did I say that so weird? Whatever. I'm not gonna fix it. Aiden Hutchinson all the way down at 4 for defensive player of the year. We'll have to see what Max Crosby did. Offensive rookie of the year, no Huskies in defensive rookie of the year. Beatles at number 8. What did Max Crosby do? I didn't mean to click silvers. Ah, I see. Broke the sack record casually, as happens so often in real life. This game's very realistic, by the way. I mean, to be fair, we've only had 2 players break the sack record here. Micah Parsons with 26. Max Crosby. Why doesn't it show the decimals or the, like, half sacks? Kind of weird. What? Why does it show Justin Houston was a Bengal? I'm guessing the Bengals signed him here. I don't know. That's my best guess. Preston Smith was up there with 21 sacks, apparently. What is this game? What are we doing? But we are going to be taking on the Chargers in the wild card here. We have a 91 overall team. We should not lose this game. But will we? No, we do win. Barely, but we win. You know what? I don't want to do this. I'm going to change our offensive playbook right now because we have a 93 overall offense. You already know what I'm doing. You can complain all you want that all I use is the Chiefs offense. There is no way we should be anything but the best offense in the league because we have the best offensive roster in the league. At least I would assume. Out of 93. Let's check. The Lions have a 91, but we're better. The only one is probably the Chiefs might have the same overall. The Eagles have a 92. The Colts have a 92. And the Chiefs do have a 93. So they're like the same overall across the board as us. That's interesting. So yeah, we have tied for the best offense in the league. The Colts? That's really weird. So we'll see how this new offensive playbook does. I mean, the Bills is interesting, but it just wasn't. I mean, it was good, but it should be better, is what I'm trying to say. But we are going to be taking on the Ravens here in the divisional. 4 overall on them. Our offense is 9 overall better. They do have a slightly better defense, but I think it's safe to say we have the better team here. Now, let's see if Madden agrees. My guess is no. Okay, Madden does agree. We beat the Ravens 21-18. And now we are going to be taking on the Chiefs, who, for some reason, when you play teams, it shows them as a lower overall. Like, we just saw they were a 91, 92 offense, 89 defense, but I don't know why it does that. But no foreplay here, no rambling. Let's see if we can beat the Chiefs and move on to our first Super Bowl in the final year. Of course not. We lose 35-31. That's fair. They were close enough. But hey, I am really proud of the team that we built here today. This is a very, very good roster created from a team of below 70 overalls. I think it started as a 68, went up to a 91. This was a good one. But again, if y'all enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know any fun ideas y'all have down below. And if you want to watch something similar to this, I do a lot of 0 overall rebuilds, so I'll try to remember to throw one up on the screen for the end card. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and with that, I will see y'all again in the next video. Goodbye.